Hello and good afternoon, and welcome to this live YouTube lesson today, the last of the week. And then after this, I will send off the timetable for next week as well. So let me just share the lesson, and we can begin. I hope everyone is having a good day. And here we go, and it's shared. Excellent. Okay. All right, guys. So, by the way, in this lesson, if there are particular things you would like me to talk about next week, just let me know in the live chat and I will make sure I add it to the list next week. Good afternoon, Sandra. Thank you very much for joining. Good afternoon, Nadia. Lovely to see you here. Maria, good afternoon, and thank you for coming to your lessons this week. Let's see, anyone else? Irina, hello, Irina. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you have had a good week, and thank you for tuning in every day this week. It's 4 o'clock, and I have my cup of tea. I should probably point things like that. Okay. So, if you have liked the videos this week, please make sure you like this video as well and share. So in today's lesson, we are going to look at how you can explain past events. We're going to concentrate on writing as well, because that might be the more normal way of doing things at the moment in English over WhatsApp and stuff. But nonetheless, what we look at here can also be applied to speaking as well. In terms of the day, it's a lovely day today. I think after this, I'm going to have to do something outside, do some exercise. So let's begin. So when we're talking about past events, there's certain grammar structures that we need to know how to use. So let's start off with the different types of grammar structures. Right. So first of all, we might have to consider, we are probably going to use the present perfect at some point to introduce maybe the topic of talking about past events. We can use the past simple. We can use the past continuous. We can use the past perfect. Now, all of these can be turned, we can write in both an active or passive voice as well. And then the very last one is the past perfect continuous, but that can only be written in an active, in the active voice. This cannot be written in the passive voice. No form of present perfect continuous can be turned into a passive. It simply doesn't work. We then have to think of our time markers, something I mentioned the other day. So time markers. But I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to tell me what time markers you know. Now, for example, when I talk about time markers, if it's the present perfect, for example, I could use, and we should always look at it in terms of the grammar as well. If it's present perfect, we would use maybe since or for, like since 2010 or for 10 years, for example. Sandra, now, yesterday. Now, we can use yesterday for the past. Let's go with yesterday, for example. Yesterday, we can use yesterday with all the forms of the past tense. Ago, I did it 10 years ago. Yes, ago. Past tense. So let's see. I just want to look at past tense time markers. Okay, let's see. In terms of you guys are watching, we've got so far Sandra has started us off. We've got yesterday, we've got ago. Any others? Okay. Hello, Catalina. To May till July. Oh, do. Yes, we'll have to make it in this way, though. For instance, I tell you what, Catalina, can you give me an example of that in a sentence? Nadia, last year, correct, good, well done. Last week, very good. I'm going to introduce another one here. Some time ago in the past. Okay. 10 weeks ago in 2019. Okay. So all of these are time markers that we can use in the past. And that's the first thing we need to make sure that we're doing correctly, that we're using our time markers properly, that we're using them in the right context. The next thing we need to decide, a couple of days ago. A couple of days ago. That's what you're going for. Once. Yes. I once went to Rio, for example. Yes, I could use once, or you could use it once. I mean, if you're writing a fairy tale story, you would write maybe you might write once upon a time. Oh yeah, once I went somewhere. Yeah, so yes, you can use once. Once is okay. So we've got that structure. Okay, here we go. I paid the rent from May till July. Oh, close. I paid the rent from May till to July. Yes, actually, Catalina, that is correct. We can use that in that context. That's fine. It's a time. Yours is a time reference rather than just a time marker. It's something a little bit more. In fact, it's actually what we would call a period of time. So your suggestion, Catalina, is a period of time, not just a time marker in the normal sense of a phrase in itself, sort of thing that you put at the beginning of a sentence. But that is fine. Okay, well done, guys. So we're off to a good start. We've got our time markers, and we have our different types of sentences that we can use to talk about the past. Can someone tell me if what I am about to write is correct? Okay. Okay. I've written, last year I have been to Peru. In the live chat section, can you tell me if this is correct or incorrect? Is this right or wrong? Let me know in the comment section. Is this correct? I'll tell you what, for every person who gets it right, who gets this answer right, I want people to like the video. So we've got 2 answers so far. Can we get 2 more answers? Okay. Can we get 1 more answer? We've got Nadia, who says it's incorrect. We have Sandra, who says it's wrong. We have Maria, and she thinks it might be right. Okay, can we get 1 more answer? Let's see. Maybe Irina would like to have your say. Who else? Irina thinks it's wrong. Okay, guys. Let's get 3 more likes on the video. Let's get 3 more likes on the video, because the answer is, it is in fact incorrect. It's wrong, because last year you're talking about now something right in the past, and let me explain why. When you use the present perfect, these are the only time markers you can use. If you're going to use the present perfect, okay, present perfect, you're going to have to give some kind of specifics. Last year is general, for example. So we only have 2 options with the present perfect. Option 1, we would have since, and then a date, like, or since, I've been here since October, for example. Oh, wait a minute. I've also thought of another one. Okay, right. I'm going to introduce you to guys to something else, because I've just thought of it. And for 10 months. Okay, so when it comes to the preposition, when I am starting my time marker with the present perfect, I have to use since or for. Since or for. Okay, those are the only 2 I can use. Now, I'm going to give you an option of how can you use something like last year in present perfect, because last year on its own is not something we can use when making the present perfect, but there's a way out of it, and it's with since. Now, this is rather strange, and I will explain it. I use it at the start of my sentence. You will notice I have since. So since last year, I have been living in Malta. What I have actually done is I've created a present perfect continuous. The present perfect continuous, you have your have or has plus been plus verb with the ing and present continuous. And what you do here is you're saying that an action started in the past. It is happening in the present and will continue into the future. Now, before we start talking about how to explain yourself in the past, let's just see. Can you all make a present perfect continuous? For example, I'm going to write an example here. Since last week, I have been working from home. Since last month, I've been staying indoors. Okay. We have been following the lessons online since Monday. Yes, Nadia, that's a good present perfect continuous. Okay. I'm going to write a little bit of a one, and let's see if you guys can complete it. Okay. Okay, guys, let's see what you guys make of this. How many of you can complete this sentence? How many of you can complete this sentence with the present perfect continuous? And then we'll start talking about the past. Let's see what you guys can do. Sandra says, I've been in Malta for 10 years. Richard, it's correct when it means now, present, live in England. I live in England. No, if you live in England, it's now in the past. So you would have to make a past perfect or past simple. If you're still living in Malta, then you can use the present perfect. Remember, if you're using the present perfect or present perfect continuous, you have to still be in that place. Maria, since I have been traveling, yes. So Maria, well done. Since I have been traveling. Since last year, I've been traveling. Okay, Maria, well done. Catalina, since last year, I have been traveling around Asia. Perfect, well done. Sandra, I mean in the past in Malta. Okay, if you're going to do this in the past in Malta, because you live in London, Sandra, you would have to say, I had lived in Malta for 10 years. I had lived in Malta for 10 years, but I now live in England. So if you want to explain that in the past you lived in Malta, but you now live in England, what you're going to have to do is make a past perfect plus a present simple. Maria, since October last year, I have been living in Malta. Maria, I am impressed. Very good. Everyone, give a like on the video for Maria. That is an excellent sentence. And considering your level, that's really good. That's very good for your level. So well done. And that's how you can create it. Now, on the subject of the past perfect, let's just see how we can talk about the past, how we can use the past perfect, because Sandra has mentioned it. To make the past perfect, okay, as we know, we've got your subject plus had plus past participle. And when we create the past perfect, we are talking about two finished actions. And usually we're going to talk about action. We first say action 2 plus action 1, for example. Now, the example of this would be what's a good example? My mind sometimes goes blank when I'm thinking on the spot. Okay. So, for example, she had left the party before the police arrived. I'm going to take away one of the things I said, actually, because you can play around. Now, in the book outcomes, for example, it says that you have to use action 2 followed by action 1. That's not necessarily the case. You can do it either way. I traveled in Cableway when I visited Madrid. I traveled in Cableway. Okay, I'll see what you would say after, because you've taken it away. If you want to put action 2 first, you would say, for instance, by the time the police arrived, she had left the party. So as you can see, when we make the past perfect, we are going to do the following. We need a past perfect plus present plus past simple. We can put action 1 first, or we can put action 2 first, but you have 2 finished actions. And if you're going to use a time marker, the time marker would be something like by the time something something happened. I realized that I had forgotten the keys when I arrived in my car. Ah, very good, well done. The only thing I would say is when I probably got to my car. When I got to my car. Or when I reached my car, for example. That's the only difference I would change there, Nadia. Good, excellent, well done, guys. So let's see if you guys can make a past perfect with a time marker. Sandra says, I got to work and I realized I had left my lunch at home. Wow, Sandra, yes, that's a really good sentence. Well done for making that sentence. Excellent stuff. Okay, guys, let's see if you can complete this sentence here. Buy something, she had something, the house with all the money. So let's see if who can complete this sentence. Let's see who can complete this sentence. Maria, I had made the dinner, but she preferred cancel the dinner. I had made the dinner. Okay, I see what you're saying there, Maria. How can we improve this? Here we go. I would say that. I had made dinner, but she cancelled. Nadia says, by the time he arrived, she had left. Very good. What I would say there is you don't need 2 commas. By the time he arrived, comma, she had left. That's all. You only need 1 comma in that sentence. So good. Well done there. All right. We're making good progress. Now, how do we talk about past events in another way as well? Let's say we want to talk about experiences in life. We've now looked at the present perfect, we've looked at the past simple, and we've looked at the past perfect, okay? Let's say we're going to talk about our past experiences, past events, in terms of where we've been. So, for instance, we could say, okay, I'm going to write about myself. Okay. I've been to South America and I really enjoyed my time there. Okay, so you will see that I've started off with the present perfect plus past simple. Marissa says, hello, Marissa. Thank you for tuning in. So we've got the present perfect here. I have been to South America and I really enjoyed it. So to start off by talking about a past experience, I've gone with a present perfect plus past simple. Now, because I've introduced my topic, I want to stay in the past. So now I need to think about what I want to talk about, the past events. In this case, I'm talking about South America. So now I want to say, well, where I went. I so I could say I traveled to Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina. So now I'm using the past simple. But now I want to explain maybe a specific event. Okay, for this, I'm going to use the past continuous. Okay, so let's talk about a specific event in the past. What was happening? In this case, I'm going to talk about the Inca Trail. Okay, so when I was doing the Inca Trail, I was hiking. Yeah, I was hiking through the the mountains. Okay, so this is what we're having to do. Mountains. Ooh, what's happened there? I don't know what it's done. Mountains. Uh, the views were amazing. So now, just to explain, when I'm talking about an actual past event in detail, I'm going to mix between the past continuous and the past simple to mix everything together. Maria says, I have been to Cusco and I made new friends. Maria, I am really impressed. Well done. You've taken the present perfect plus past simple. Really well done. I am very, very happy with that. Again, that's because I know your level, because you're in one of my morning classes. So really well done. So I'm going to ask you guys to try and do this. I want you to write maybe about 5 to 6 sentences in the live chat. I want you to tell me about a past experience. Start off with the present perfect. Move on to the past simple. To explain where you were, use the past simple. But then to tell me about something specific, like what was happening, that's when you use the past continuous. Okay, so in my case, I'm saying I have been to South America and I really enjoyed it. I went to Ecuador, Peru, I went to Cusco, um, Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina. When I was in Peru, I did what did I say? When I was in Peru, I did the Inca Trail. Or when I was doing the Inca Trail in Peru, I was hiking through the mountains. I was meeting different people. I was seeing different things. I was walking miles and miles a day. I was sleeping. I was camping at night. I was. So this is the structure. This is how you mix everything together. You take each individual grammar construction and you start putting things together. It fits nicely together. So your turn, guys. Let's see who can tell me, who can write maybe 5 sentences that just explains a little bit about a past experience. I always recommend travel. It's a really good one to do. It makes things easier. And I really encourage you guys now to do it. So let's see who's going to be first. Maria, you have already started because you've said I have been to Cusco and I made new friends. So Maria, would you like to tell me more about? Would you like to tell me more about it? Would you like to tell me more about your experience in Cusco? I should say, guys, if you haven't been to Cusco, Cusco is a really good city. I really liked it. I think it's probably one of my favorite cities in South America, or one of the best cities I had visited while I was in South America. I thought Cusco was a good place. And Peru is a fantastic country, just in general. I mean, Peru is a brilliant country. So let's see what you guys can do. In the meantime, I'm going to write something as well, and let's see if some of you can also complete the paragraph, the small little paragraph that I'm going to write. Oh, okay, let's see, Maria, what have you written? When I was in Cusco, it was my first trip alone. I started to travel. Okay, you're doing well, Maria. Sandra, I was writing an email while my daughter was watching a movie. Okay, good. It was my best experience. Maria, you're doing a really good job. Well done. Sandra, okay. What I would like with that, Sandra, is more context. So, for instance, like what's the situation? Where were you? Is there more to this experience? So I'm going to write something over here. Okay, guys, I'm just going to post this, and let's see if you guys can complete what I've just written. In the meantime, Catalina has written, when I was working at Behesa Solano, I used to sailing over the sea, and I had been looking at the whales close. When I was working at, okay, you've introduced it already with the past continuous. So trying to throw in a present perfect afterwards is going to be really difficult to do and probably not possible. So I'd avoid that. I used to sail. If you're going to use I used to, stick to the infinitive form of the verb. I used to sail over the sea, and oh, I see. Sorry, you've made a past perfect continuous. When I was working at Bahai Solano, I used to sail. And now you're talking about a past routine, though. So you'd have to say, I used to sail, and I would watch the whales. Okay? You're talking about a past routine. If you're talking about a past routine, stick to past simple for past routines. Okay? Other than that, I mean, I understand what you were saying, though, so it's a good effort. Marina says, when I was dancing in Duomo, Milan in the New Year or last New Year with my best friends, we were planning another trip. Okay, that's pretty good, Maria. What I would say is when I was dancing in at the Duomo or in the Duomo, depends, in Milan. Okay, so it's just a question of prepositions there, but that's pretty good overall. Irina says, I made new pictures in the morning and I have tried to put new banners on the side. I have made. Okay, that's pretty good. What I was with pictures, you take pictures. Okay, so take pictures or taken pictures. Or took pictures. So you have to think of the word take. Sandra says, I worked from home office. I worked from home, just home. I worked from home and I was writing an email while my daughter was watching a movie. She was still at home because the school is closed. The school is closed. Okay, that's pretty good, Sandra. Much, much, much better. Much better. Well done, guys. You're doing very well here. Can anyone try this one? Can anyone try and complete this? Can anyone try and complete this one? Okay, so you need to look at the. I have. Ah, no, I put seen already. Whoops. That's the answer. Hello, Alejandra, Triana. Hello, good afternoon. Sorry. What is the difference between past participle and perfect? Okay, simply put, past participle is the third form of the verb. When you make a present perfect or past perfect sentence, you always have the structure have, has, or had plus past participle. Okay? So to make a perfect sentence, past perfect, present perfect sentence, you need the past participle. Maria, I have seeing, I was, I went, I have seen. Okay, if you're using the forms of see, oh, I have seen is the answer. I have seen many types of whales. That's what the answer is. I got something wrong, so I'll just post this again. So it should be C. Okay, example with the answer. Okay, so I think this is a better example, so you guys don't get confused. Catalina, I have been seen many types of whales, and I remember when I was in New Zealand, I went whale watching. You don't need to. You need a verb. Whale watching is a noun, and and I was going round on this boat and I saw whales. Okay, most of that's really good. Just I have seen. You don't need been seen. If you write I have been seen, this would be a very, very, very different context. You can make it, but that's going to be passive, and you don't want a passive voice here. But really good stuff. You guys are doing well. We've got 5 minutes left. Can anyone make this sentence for me? Can anyone complete this sentence for me? That's over here. Can anyone complete this sentence? Or this paragraph, should I say? Let's see. I have, so we know the first answer. I have seen many types of whales, and when I whale watching, and I was going round on this boat, and good, okay. I'll post that again because I've noticed there's a mistake. Whales at the end should be with a small W. So can anyone complete this? We've got 5 minutes left. Can anyone complete it? Can anyone complete it? So we know the first answer. I have seen many types of whales, and I something when I in New Zealand. I whale watching, and I was going around on this boat, and I whales. I have to say, if you haven't been to New Zealand, I do recommend it. It's a fantastic country. Remembered has been. Try again. Nice idea, Sandra. I can see why you thought that, but no, try again. Try again. Okay, I'll help you out here. The first one's a bit of a trick one. You think you need to change the verb, you don't. I remember, and the second bit is was. So well done, 50% there. 50% there. So remember and was. So that's the answer to the first two missing answers there. We've got 2 more answers to fill in. Okay, let's see. Can we finish this before the end of the lesson? And then I'll be posting things later after this about what the timetable is going to be for next week. And by the way, tell me in the live comment section, are there any specific videos you would like me to do? Are there any specific aspects of English that you want me to look at? Maybe there's certain words you want me to look at. Maybe there's a certain topic. Maybe there's a particular grammar point. So I will look at all of those things if you just tell me which ones you really want to watch. If you don't, then I will go with what I have planned anyway. Okay, guys, we've got just 3 minutes left. So I have seen many types of whales, and I remember when I was in New Zealand, let's go. I was going whale watching, and I was going around on the boat, and I saw. Okay, I was going whale watching. I would say here, definitely saw. I was going whale watching, and I was going around on the boat. Okay, that's a pretty good answer. I'm going to ask you to change the, instead of was going, can you think of a different one? Just leave it in the past simple. So we know the last one is saw. It's definitely saw. So it's now something saw. Something and saw. 2 minutes left. Something and saw. So I have seen many types of whales. And I remember when I was in New Zealand, something while watching, and I was going around on this boat and I saw whales. So we're now just looking for one more answer. One more answer. Less than a minute to go. Can someone think of what the answer is? The clue is go. Oh, good idea, Irina, but nope, it's even simpler than that. Think of the past simple of go. Think of the past simple of go. What is the past simple of go? And that will be your answer. Went. Okay. So I have seen many types of whales, and I remember when I was in New Zealand, I went whale watching, and I was going around on this boat, and I saw whales. There we go. So well done, guys. We got there. we got there before the 45 minutes was up. Catalina has said, I have seen many types of whales, and I remember when I was in New Zealand, I went whale watching, and I was going round on this boat, and I saw whales. Very good, Catalina. Excellent. Please like the video for Catalina on that one. So, guys, a massive thank you for all of you who've taken part in today's lessons in the live chat. It's not the easiest of topics, but you all did really, really, really well. So well done to all of you, of different levels as well. We've got people from elementary all the way to up intermediate watching. So you have done a really good job. So yes, Maria, you too. Thank you very much. So all of you, thank you for watching, and have a lovely, lovely weekend. And I will see you next week. There will be a video every day in the afternoon at 4 o'clock. YouTube at 4 o'clock every day. And I will post the topics that we are going to cover either later or over the weekend. You too, Alejandra, thank you so much. And Maria and Alejandra, thank you for coming to the Zoom lessons in the morning. Sandra, you too, have a nice weekend. Catalina, thank you for your input today. And Irina, well done there. Thank you very much. Sandra as well, thank you very much for participating. Marisa, thank you very much for watching. You too, Nadia. And I think I've covered most people who participated in today's lesson. So a big thank you to all of you. Have a wonderful weekend. Like the video and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, and you can turn on the notification bell as well, which tells you automatically if we've uploaded a video or if we've gone live. Catalina, thank you very much. I'm glad that you found this lesson very useful. Thank you. So guys, well done. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the sun if you can. Stay healthy, stay well, and I will see you all Monday afternoon at 4 o'clock. See you guys then, and bye for now.